Well, again, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So wonderful to see you here today. We will, I think, be starting with When We Sing, or if you don't have the lyrics in front of you, yes, you do now have the lyrics in front of you. Feel free to sing along with me when you get the tune. When we sing, when we sing, when we sing, we pray twice. When we sing, when we sing, when we sing, we are one. Shir Ladonai, 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 Shir Ladonai. When we sing, when we sing, when we sing, we pray twice. When we sing, when we sing, when we sing, we are one. And as we sing together, we raise our voices as a community in prayer. We invite in all that this day of rest can offer us, a sanctuary from our week that has passed, and a pause before we start with a new week. We give thanks for all that we have in this time and space together, especially a pure heart and the desire for a renewed spirit. Create a pure heart in me, great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. And as we take a collective deep breath together, we cleanse our souls and we fill our hearts. And we also look outward to the wonderful people around us and on our screen. It's such a blessing to be together on this holy day. And in the warm embrace of our sacred community, we're reminded of the holiness that this day can bring and the holy moments that can exist in every time of day. Let us hold these moments dear in our hearts and carry them forward together. How good and pleasant it is that we can all dwell together.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
And we now join together, for those of you that have brought your candles with you, I invite you to join me in saying the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And now we continue, if you have your book, on page 9, or we can use the words on the screen in front. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope. For Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living. For Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Now we join together for Lecha Dodi, but please note that we will be singing a different verse instead of verse number 5, but the words will be in front of you. It's a different verse. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad yishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yamim usmot yifrotzi v'et Adonai taritzi al yad ish ben parzi v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Oim v'shalom ateret balad gam b'simcha uv'sola toch emuni amsirula boichala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashavet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. השלום מלאכי עליון מי מלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון מי מלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. יתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך יוטב ימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם עולם מעלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל לשמי קודשה בריחו. והילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה, ואמרו Amen.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu if you are able. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golei or mipnei choshech, golei or mipnei choshech, dechoshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golei or mipnei choshech, golei or mipnei choshech, dechoshech mipnei or.
We continue on page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too?
Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. We continue on page 39 at the bottom, and we pray responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We continue on page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Place away. There's a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day. Eternity utters a day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanera, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imaot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Ve'rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh u'shimcha kadosh, u'dekoshim b'chol yom yahalu lecha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. On the top of page 55, we continue together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
We continue with the words of Ritzeh. Ritzeh, Ritzeh, Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu, ve'amacha Yisrael, u'tefil hatam, ve'ahava tekabel, u'teil ratzon tamid, u'teil ratzon tamid, avodat Yisrael Hamecha. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadcha, v'yirat avod, she'otecha levadcha, v'yirat avod.
We continue on page 59 in the middle of the page. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you're mindful of us? We mortals, that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulacha na'el lechodot.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Please take a moment for silent prayer.
לפניך אדוני צורי say shalom bimromav. Uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael.
Mishaberach. Yes. Yasha Koach. A lot of beautiful things to think about. The words for Mishaberach will be found on page 253, but we take just a moment to reflect on those in our community who are in need of healing, who are in need of a refuah shlema, not just a healing of body, but a healing of spirit, a complete healing. And so, Mishaberach Avotenu ve'imotenu, Mishaberach ve'yarpeh et hacholim, may the one who has blessed and kept our ancestors in every generation, who has brought healing to those in times of when they were in need of healing, continue to bring this healing to those among us. Baruch atah Adonai rofei hacholim. And at this time, we think particularly of Hyla Weiskind, Barb Gronefeld, Gail Russek, Belinda Glovka, Tamir Rastetter, Jim Hedger, Ezra Melech, Ben Rachel Sarah, Mike Ammons, Helen Fine, Jeremy Wise, Paul Levine, Ed Bulin, Harvey Olson, Christine Wagner, Candace Smith, Tracy Huddleston, Joe McKenna, Mark Romanowski, Jerry McDonald, Richard Lieberman, Joel Pinsker, Marty Sacker, Sandy Sapphire, Laura Holtzinger-Levin, Ralph Schwartz, Avraham Ben Avraham Visara, Bob and Gert Kahn, Dave Bessie, Ron Levine, Jay Bainbridge, Chelsea Smith, Shava Eta, Lori Freisler, Bernice Brandt, and Deborah Seidel, and of course all who we are holding close to us in our hearts at this moment. We pray that they may have a complete and soon a complete refuah shlema. We continue with the words on page 253.
Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
I'll now ask everyone who is able to please rise for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. And now, as we meditate a little before we tend to our mourner's Kaddish, and we are out amongst the stars. We gather together with Yesh Kochavim. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember.
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. We are in a period of Animut for Emily November, a period of Shiva for Edith Greengold, and a period of Shloshim for Jacqueline, Lorraine Kotler, James Stewart, and Dr. Maury Summer. We are also remembering those who died at this season in years past. We are observing the yahrzeits of Blanche E. Asher, Meyer J. Bachrach, Maurice Bertelstein, Hannah Bookbinder, Franklin Cohn, Hans Gurnis, Leonora T. Green, Harry Green, Mary Gruenberg, Harry F. Hampel, Samuel J. Harris Jr., Carrie Huber, John Indalesio, Max M. Kahn, Hyman Kolbach, William Lapides, Joshua Levine, Melvin Lipton, Max Mann, Charles McCudis, Alex Pearl, Anna Pearl, Herbert Pearl, Miriam Prigozhin, Simon Sanders, Harriet Sanders, Charlotte E. Schumann, Elsie L. Shumsky, Ruth M. Tepping, Ruth K. Tiber, Herman J. Weissman, Louis Weprin, and of course, any who we are holding close to our heart, whose names we have not read aloud. If you'd like to share those out loud, you may. And of course, if you would like to say aloud any names that have been mispronounced as well. We hold all of them as we draw them near to our hearts, as we recite the words of the mourner's Kaddish. And I invite those who are remembering or in mourning to please rise first. And now we as a congregation, if we are able, rise with you for the words on page 294 of the mourner's Kaddish. Vit gadal vit kadash me rabba, ve'alma divrach irute v'amlich malchute, ve'chayechon v'yomechon, u'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, va'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehe shme rabba mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitpalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always and only be for a blessing. You may be seated if you'd like.
And I invite anyone that has some fruit of the vine to join me in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzav banu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu b'charta, ve'otanu kirashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, hinchalatanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat. Chaim.
So Grant, I think you're leading us in Motzi. If anyone has their challah, please grab a piece.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
Yum. Thank you all so much for being with us and creating a community this evening. It's really wonderful to see so many of your faces, and I invite you, if you'd like to take yourself off of mute just to say goodbye and wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom. It's always wonderful.